Hi everyone, and welcome to your third and final lesson underneath the Tokugawa Shogunate tab on the Japan Under the Shogun Teaching and Learning website resource. This lesson is going to be a summary of all the content we've been learning about so far in the unit of Japan Under the Shogun. So your success criteria is located here. And by the end of this lesson, you need to know medieval Japan, and by the end of the lesson, you need to be able to understand and explain key content from the time where the Shogun ruled Japan. So task 1 is source work on the Meiji Restoration, and this will jog your brain from last lesson as well. So source 1 is a woodblock painting made in 1854 CE by an unknown artist showing Matthew Perry and other Westerners reading President Fillmore's letter to the Emperor of Japan. So is this a primary or secondary source? Number 2, who made the source? Number 3, what is happening in the source? Make sure you answer those ones in your book, and make sure you read the description as well to find the answer for those ones. Number 4, who was Matthew Perry? You can use the information from lesson 2. Number 5, why do you think this source is important for modern historians learning about the end of Shogunate Japan? You could write something along the lines of the president wanted to communicate with the Emperor of Japan, maybe give him a bit of power back as well, but I'll leave that one up to you guys. Source 2 is a woodblock print made in 1878 by Tsukioka Yoshitoshi of Japan's famous soldiers during the Meiji Restoration. So number 1, 2, and 3, is this a primary or secondary source? Who made the source and what is happening in the source? And then number 4, these are Japanese warriors during Shogunate Japan. So why don't they look like samurai? So you might want to use the Western or foreign influence on Japan's society here for why they don't look like samurai. These guys have obviously aligned themselves with Emperor Meiji, so they don't want to dress like samurai. Source 3 is a painting made in 1865 CE by Toyohara of samurai getting ready for battle under the Sonojoi banner. So number 1, is this a primary or secondary source? Have a think about it. Look at what the source is, what type of source it is, and make sure you give the description a good read. Number 2, who made the source? Number 3, what does the word joy mean? You can use the information from lesson 2. Number 4, are these samurai supportive of Japan adopting foreign culture? You can probably tell, and if you know what joy means, you'll be able to know the answer to that question. And then name the 3 weapons that can be seen in the painting. You can use lesson 2 of the samurai tab to help you with this as well, that we've covered before. And then lastly, source 4 and 5. Source 4 is a print made in 1854 CE that outlines America's black ships. This print outlines to Japanese officials that the ships are allowed to trade in Japan and what goods they are carrying. So this is a really interesting, it's definitely a really quality primary source. When was the source made? You can see it's got it in the description there. Look at the ship on the bottom right corner. What technology did the Americans have that the Japanese did not? So we can see in this picture here, we've got steam power. We've got steam and coal power. What is the information in the top half of the source? By looking at that, it looks kind of like a list. So to me, this looks like this is a list of all the things the Americans were bringing into Japan. And now name 3 things you think the Americans were bringing to Japan. So for instance, they could be bringing in this steam technology as well. Also, we can see a soldier here with a gun. So we can say that they were bringing guns in. So that's 2 things. I'll let you guys find another one as well. Source 5, a painting made in 1871 CE by Yutagawa Yoshitora called Steam Railroad in Tokyo. So number 1, what is happening in the source? What's actually happening in this painting here? Number 2, what mode of transport did the Americans introduce to Japan? That's a pretty easy one. Number 3, how did this change society in Japan? Look at the source for clues. So you can see there are now people riding in a train compared to people still being carried on a cart in a rickshaw. So what type of people would be riding the train and in the rickshaws? So you can use the information from the social structure as well to form your answer for number 4. And number 5, what type of people are pulling the rickshaws? And again, you can use information from the social structure to inspire your answer for number 5. Make sure you answer all those source questions in your book as well. Task 2 is short answer responses. These are really important before exam and assessment preparation, and they're good ways to go over how well you know the content from Japan under the Shogun. So choose one of these questions to answer as a peel paragraph. If you can answer these questions, you know all the knowledge in this unit, and be ready to share your answer with the class as well. So if you're struggling to pick a question, you can click on this wheel here, and it will spin it for you, and it will pick your question for you. And again, if you're a teacher and you're wanting to share your class's answers, you can use this wheel as well. So if you're really struggling to pick a question, you can use the wheel. So for instance, explain the samurai and the code of Bushido for 4 marks. So it's a fun little way to choose a question. So your questions are, why did the shogun have all the power in medieval Japan? Describe the geography of Japan and how it influenced the lifestyle of people in medieval Japan. Explain the samurai and the code of Bushido. The 4th one you can choose is describe the achievements of the Tokugawa Shogunate. Number 5, what caused the Meiji Restoration and how did it impact Japanese society? It's good to pretend how many marks these questions would be worth to prepare you for exams and your writing style as well. Make sure you follow the peel structure for those ones as well. And then lastly, there's 3 Kahoots here that you can play with your class. If you click on the picture, it'll open them up. And they're really good summaries of all the content that's in this website here. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you for our next lesson on Japan under the Shogun. And if you're using these resources and want to stay updated to any new websites or any new lessons that are made in existing websites like this one, please go ahead and subscribe. Thank you.